Just going live everywhere this morning for this week's Monday morning style session. Welcome. If you're watching live, let me know. Okay, looks like miraculously I'm live in all the places. Good morning. Happy Monday. So today we're going to talk about a subject that can kind of be a little touchy, right? And a little bit taboo. And we're talking about sizing and the role that size plays in style. So the reason I wanted to tackle this topic is because it's one of the questions and one of the complaints that I hear the most is I can't find my size, things don't fit, I'm struggling with fit. Like size is an issue for all of us. So I wanted to start by giving you a little bit of a history lesson and how the whole sizing thing came about, because I thought this was really interesting. It was an article in Time magazine that really did kind of a deep dive into sizing. I've studied this in the past, but this kind of really collected all the information in one place. So I'm going to try to find that article and link it. But first of all, universal sizing has not been around a long time, or at least the sizing system that we know right now has not been around for a long time. It's only been around maybe 70, 80 years. So post World War II, the government set up a task force for people to, for a committee of scientists to come up with a sizing system, a universal sizing system. And so 1958, they came up with what we all think and feel like we need today, universal sizing. Universal sizing. So universal sizing meant that a size 2 was a size 2 at no matter what store you bought it at. A size 10 was a size 10 no matter what store you bought it at. And we all know that that no longer exists. Why did universal sizing go away? Because the American woman it didn't work in the United States when there was such a diversity in body shapes. So universal sizing disappeared in the US because we have so many different body shapes that a universal sizing system did not end up working. At least the one that they developed back in the late 50s did not end up working in the US. And so by the early 80s, universal sizing had just kind of gone out the window. In places like China, where you see a lot more like a more homogenous population and more people look alike, universal sizing is still a thing. So I thought that was very interesting. Okay, I think this is such a great illustration of how irrelevant the number that is assigned to your clothes actually is. So at one point in their lives, Twiggy, Oprah Winfrey, Joan Collins, and Mindy Kaling all had measurements that put them in a size 8 clothing. So Twiggy, Oprah Winfrey, Joan Collins, and Mindy Kaling have all been a size 8, right? Now, at the time that Twiggy wore a size 8, that might have been the smallest size, or was one of the smallest sizes that was available to women. At the time, now in modern times, when Mindy Kaling wears a size 8, the smallest size available is a 00. So in modern sizing, Twiggy would not be a size 8, she would be a 00. Joan Collins would not be a size 8, she would be a 2. Oprah Winfrey at the time when her measurements were taken would not be a size 8, she'd be a 6. And Mindy Kaling is a size 8 by modern standards. So the number is so irrelevant. If you look at the difference between, a Twiggy body type and even a Joan Collins body type or an Oprah Winfrey body type, you will see that the number 8 being assigned to all of them seems completely arbitrary and irrelevant. So if we can see it in other women, maybe we can start seeing it in ourselves and giving ourselves some grace, right? Okay, another interesting statistic: the waistband in a pair of pants in, for example, a size 6 can vary up to 6 inches. Depending on the brand, 6 inches. So you can buy a size 6 from one brand, a size 6 from another brand, and there could be a 6-inch difference in the waistband. Also, the shocker is that the same size and the same brand is going to fit you completely differently. So you may wear a 12 of J. Crew in one item, and then you try it in another item, and the 12 in J. Crew does not fit you at all in that other item. So that further adds fuel to the fire and adds to our frustration. Finally, the average weight of the American woman has changed. In 1960, it was 140 pounds. In 2014, it was 168.5 pounds. So a lot of things at play in sizing and why universal sizing does not work, and why brands and consumers like us are really struggling with buying and returning, buying and returning, buying and returning. Who has found themselves on that hamster wheel of buying and returning clothes because of fit issues? I think we've all experienced this. It doesn't matter what size category you're in. So let me share a couple of thoughts that some of my viewers have had, and readers have had on one of my blog posts. I did a post yesterday on sizing, and these are some of the thoughts that some of you guys had on sizing. Nice to see you guys here. Good morning. Okay, so one woman said, I've always been plus size. It's always factored in what I choose to wear because my style choices are rather limited, especially for shoes. Styles for plus sizes have gotten better, but I'm still limited. Sometimes I do well at picking flattering outfits. Sometimes I fail miserably. I think most women can relate to that, in terms of sometimes we find a good fit, other times we don't. And sometimes we create beautiful combinations, and other times we feel like they're a flop. Another woman said, my weight fluctuates a bit, not excessively, but I do my own personal roller coaster of up and down a size or two. For sure, I select more fitted, body-hugging styles when my weight is down. Tucking is easier and I have more confidence showing skin, etc. Like so many of us, I gaze longingly at the tall, slender models we see in catalogs. Yeah. Another woman said size and shape both really play a big role in how she chooses to dress. Another woman said, in my mind, I'm this risk taker. I buy sexier pieces. I hardly wear those. I put them on and take them right off. Someone else said size definitely impacts clothing choices, especially when manufacturers decide that larger women only belong in floral and polyester. I'm going to talk about this in a minute. And then someone else said, I have a closet full of tunics that I'm slowly replacing with more net-appropriate tops. It takes time and it's kind of discouraging, but when you nail it, you feel good. Okay, so I want to talk about how brands view us based on our size category. It's something I'm calling the caricature effect, because I feel like the Kibbe body typing system plays into this a little bit, but it takes much more into account than just your size. But your size and your scale mean that brands will attribute certain characteristics to you. Am I right? Like, I am petite, so therefore I am cute. And so I need to wear cute clothing. I need to wear cute clothing. I need to wear little Peter Pan colors. I need to wear itsy bitsy ditsy prints. I need to wear primarily pastels. Now, whether any of this stuff aligns with my style personality, whether any of it aligns with my color type, which it does not, whether I love any of these pieces really becomes irrelevant. What they are looking at is she's little, therefore she's cute. Therefore, we need to make cute clothes for little people. Now, petite doesn't even refer to size, it refers to height. Petite is a height category exclusively. You can be a petite and plus size. You can be a petite and in the regular size category, regular size range, but it's literally just referring to height. Same with tall. So, she's tall, she must be elegant. She must be regal. Maybe she's fun. Maybe she's funky. Maybe she's edgy. But no, tall means elegant, regal. And often tall clothes are made really flowy and like kind of dramatic. Whether or not that's your personal style doesn't matter. You're tall, you're supposed to wear that. Now, for plus size women are exuberant. They're so much fun. And so, you see splashy patterns and, oversized clothes and loud pieces because, they associate being plus size with being like the life of the party or fun or exuberant. I want to know what other adjectives, what other qualities you think are attributed to your size range. Let me know in the comments, because I find this really fascinating and also really maddening and frustrating. So those of us who are in a specialty size category, which is anybody that is outside of the regular size range of 0 to 14, right now 14 is essentially the top of the standard size range, and then anyone below 5'4" and above 5'9". So if you are not in a standard size range, I want to know what what are the characteristics that you think are attributed to your size category? Because it's everywhere, and I find it, like I said, really frustrating, and at the same time just intriguing. Like, what? Like, I don't get it. Like, why do they think we all want to wear those same pieces just because of our height or our size? Okay, now let's talk about the basically the practical ramifications or whatever of dressing our size. I'm trying to get those words out. Okay, so shopping for specialty sizes. What does it mean when you are shopping in a specialty size? It means that you can only shop one section of the store. In a department store near me, the petite section is upstairs in the back corner. There's also a plus section that's upstairs in a back corner. And it's much, much, much smaller. Not only is it the Peter Pan colors and the ditzy prints, but you only have 5 tops to choose from and 5 bottoms and 3 dresses. And if you don't like them, oops, you're out of luck. You're out of luck. So that's like a reality that many of us deal with if we're in a specialty sizing category, is that our options are far more limited than they are in standard sizes. Now, that has changed a lot, and I'm going to get to that in a minute, but we still are shopping in separate sections of the stores from our counterparts, our friends, our peers. I read a quote from Melissa McCarthy that said she has a size 6 friend, and when they go shopping, they're segregated. Or what did she say? Yeah, they're separated, and one of them has to go to one section of the store, and another one has to go to another section of the store, and it's annoying that they can't all just shop together. Again, that's changing slowly, but it's still a reality. We have a much smaller selection. And then something that many of us don't take into account is that specialty sizes sell out faster. So if you're a specialty size and you're on either end of the size spectrum, I just had a client who said, I'm looking for a size 00 petite shorts. I was like, well, it's July. That's going to be really hard to find. She's on this very smaller end of the size spectrum. And so she's going to have far fewer options. And those options sold out in April. They're not, most of them are still not available in July. And it's true at the plus size and tall ends of the sizing spectrum as well. So if you are like a hard to find size, your sizes in the pieces that you're looking at are going to sell out first. So you have to move quickly and shop quickly. So again, it just changes the shopping process for us. Let me look at some of these comments. Your aunt is 87, size 8 now, 95 pounds as a young bride. She always looks incredible. When I grow up, you want to be like her. Today's your 50th birthday. And you're a size 00252. No one believes you. Yeah. So hard not to look juvie when petite. Absolutely, Deb. I did not know today was your birthday. Happy birthday. But absolutely, when we're little, people are going to think of us as cute. When we are taller, people are going to think of us as elegant. It's just one of the things that we deal with in specific size categories. Okay, now let's talk about how to address our size when we're shopping and how to deal with sizes when we're shopping. First is to shop with your measurements and your shape in mind, not your size. When you really see the irrelevance of sizing and how arbitrary it is, my encouragement is all of you need to have your lengths and your widths in on your phone, and they need to be accurate, they need to be current, they need to be up to date. So you need to know the lengths of your shirts, of your inseams, of your rise, of your jackets, of your dresses. You need to know the widths of your waist, of your bust, of your shoulder, of your hips, because you need to be able to look at the measurements of a garment online and not the size, and really stop looking at the size and instead look at the measurements. Now, are the measurements online always accurate? No, they're not, but they're going to get you in the ballpark at least, whereas size will often not even get you in the ballpark. So knowing your lengths and your widths is so critical. Knowing your exact measurements is so critical. I have no idea what that was. Knowing your exact measurements is so critical, and it's going to help you get your best fit. So that's the most important thing, is to know those measurements and not your sizes. Recognize that you really try to detach meaning from that number. And rather than saying, I'm a size 8, I'm a size 14, I'm a size 20, I'm a size 2, instead say, I'm petite, I'm an hourglass, and I'm in a regular size range. I'm in a plus size range. I'm in a tall size range. I'm in a petite size range, because recognize that your size is going to be dramatically different depending on what brand you're shopping. Okay, next is invest in your current body. Now, one of the challenges that has happened is that a lot of plus size clothing brands have opened and closed because some women are not willing to invest in their current size. This is what distinguishes plus size from petite or tall. Those of us who are petite and tall are stuck with being petite and tall, whether or not we like it. I happen to love being petite, but those of us who are petite and tall know that that's not going to change. If you're plus and you're in any kind of a size transition, I would very much encourage you to invest in your current size and to dress for your current size. I promise you, not only will it help you reach your goals more quickly, but it also makes you feel more beautiful in the process. And you deserve to feel beautiful now and not postpone feeling beautiful until later, right? But brands will close based on the fact that women don't seem always willing to invest in their current size. We need to shop and invest in our current size and dress for where we're at right now, and not some mythical point in the future. That point in the future happens, awesome, you can dress for it then. But now you've got the body that you have now, dress for it now. So you need to stop settling. We need to stop settling for poor fit in clothes. We need to stop settling for poor fit in clothes. And that means we need to stop giving brands a pass when they're creating universal sizes, one size fits all and one length fits all. There's a store that my daughter shops at, a brand that she shops at called Brandy Melville, which is literally one size fits all. And I want to just call it one size fits Lola, because unless you look like my daughter Lola, and many women don't, she is almost 5'8" and very small boned. If you don't look like that, you're not going to fit in those clothes. So if you're shorter or taller, if you're smaller or bigger, you're not going to fit in the one size fits all. Now, what brands are doing for us over 50 is it's one length fits all. And so we're seeing maxi dresses that are really middies on some of us and maxis on others, and they fall into a weird, awkward point in the middle for many of us. We're seeing pant lengths that are dubious at best. Like, it's not an ankle, it's not a capri, it's not a crop. It just falls in that no man's land in the middle, that one length fits all. And that we have seen in the past several years, but especially since COVID, when brands are getting lazy and they're like, oh, look, this will be short on a taller person and long on a shorter person. It works for everybody. Actually, it works for nobody. So we need to stop giving brands a pass on some of these cheap sizing strategies that they're doing so that they can cut costs when they're making clothing. The reason we are struggling with fit is because the production and the quality levels of the clothes that we're buying have gone so far down. With fast fashion and everything, we're not getting the quality and the fit that we used to get. So we recognize that that's a problem that the brand has and not a problem of our body. That can really help. But we need to avoid one size fits all, one length fits all, and instead really focus on fit and recognize that whether you're petite, you're tall, or you're plus, nailing the fit is going to be the most essential thing. So how do you nail the fit when clothes don't fit in stores? You shop with your measurements, not with your size. You know your lengths and your widths, and you shop specialty sizes and support specialty sizes. One of the reasons I talk about Petite Studio all the time is because I love that there's an independent brand making petite sizing. So find your brand that fits you really well and commit to shopping those brands that are doing your size category well. We need to keep those brands afloat because they are the future for those of us who need more options, right? The other thing I would say is to consider custom options for the hard to find pieces. I have talked in the past about the jacket maker for custom leather jackets and custom leather blazers and coats. I've talked about Seams Friendly, Ishakti, Sumisura. There are brands that will do everything from a custom shoe to a custom suit to a custom pair of jeans. And often their prices are very similar to the retail prices you would be paying anyway. So for the pieces that you find really, really hard to style or really hard to find in your size, consider custom options. My final, I do have a specialty sizing category or catalog linked in the comments here. So I would definitely check that out, because I curate the best of the best in petite sizes, tall sizes, plus sizes, and I find those specialty brands that do that really, really well and put them in that category or that catalog. This includes fuller busts, smaller busts, whatever sizing challenge you may have. I've tried to include it in this catalog. So if you have other resources to add to that catalog, let's create a resource that can help us all out, any of us that are shopping outside of a standard size range. Okay, someone is saying, Valerie's saying, first of all, this is so good. You pay full price a lot to get a cute petite. Yes. Becky, the most size inclusive brand you found is Land's End. Very good. That's a great piece of information for those of you who are looking for a more size inclusive brand. They do have a great range of sizes. Valerie's saying, when I was a teen in the 60s, I couldn't find slacks long enough to fit my 5'7" body. Suddenly in the 90s, you could find pants that were long enough. So yeah, is there a list of these custom clothing companies? Yes, there is a list of those custom clothing companies. I have a couple of videos on fit. I will link them, and I will link the catalog that I have of custom sizing companies. I have a client who is 4'11", had a pair of jeans made. I have another client who is 6'1" and had a pair of jeans made on opposite ends of the length spectrum, and they both had jeans custom made that ended up really being a great fit for them. So the final thing I'm going to talk about, and it's something that is frustrating to me and to all of us, is recognize that when you buy an item that doesn't fit you perfectly, the solution is to make that item fit. And you can do that one of two ways. You can learn to sew. There are lots of sewing tutorials on YouTube, or you can find a really good seamstress or tailor. I will tell you, if you are getting your items back from the seamstress or the tailor and you don't love them more and feel beautiful and feel like $1 million in them, you're going to the wrong person. I spoke to a client a few days ago who said, yeah, but even after I get clothing altered, it doesn't end up being a great fit. I'm like, that's not the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to look like it's tailor made and custom made for you, and it needs to feel like couture. If it doesn't feel like that, you're going to the wrong person, and you need to find a better tailor or seamstress. Sadly, the reality is that we're going backwards, not forwards, in the sense that we used to have all of our clothes custom made, and now we're having to have all of our clothes customized to fit us. So buy fewer pieces, tack on that additional $10 to $15 to get the right fit. If you buy less, you can afford to get the pieces altered so that they fit your unique and uniquely beautiful body. So I want to encourage you to really think outside the size box that brands are trying to fit us in, and instead look at your body's shape. The shape system that I use really looks at your bone structure. And so that's not going to change. You never need to wait to find out your body shape. Your body shape will not change over time. You're looking at your shoulder bones, your hip bones, like those are not going to change. So knowing your shape, knowing your measurements is way more important than knowing your size. Shopping brands that cater to your size range, and then ultimately either choosing to order custom options for the things that you're having a hard time, finding a good fit for, or altering the pieces that you own to get that custom beautiful fit, recognizing that your beautiful body is going to look its absolute best in clothing that fits you. And that I feel like we are headed back to a sizeless society. So pre-1950, society was sizeless. fashion was sizeless because clothes were custom made to your body. I want us to head back in that direction where we're going away from sizing and we're looking at what suits our specific body without really taking size into account. So that's my encouragement. I hope that you are that you found this helpful. Let's continue the conversation about sizes this week in my Facebook groups and in the comments section. I have some great recommendations for tailors here, so check them out as well. And if you are in a community, whatever town you're in, if you have found a really good seamstress or a really good alterations place, please put the name of the city and the name of that business in the comments section, because I think it's going to be super, super helpful for everyone who is watching. Love you guys. This one was a little bit longer, but again, it's a huge topic. I want to hear your challenges and your questions about sizing. I'm going to share all of my resources in the comments, and don't forget to ask me any questions that you may have. Love you guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye.